Alright guys, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power Season 2 director, coming out and explaining Sauron's origin story in Season 2. I've done a review of it, it was terrible. In doing this explanation, he's also just revealing how they've just thrown all of the lore out. And actually, Sauron's not 100% evil. And actually, he's weak as piss. Why do these people think they know better than the guy who created the entire thing? Very bizarre. So, we'll take a look. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Turn the bell notifications on. Let's go! Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power Season 2 director explains Sauron's shocking origin story. It's not that shocking. Let me just explain it to you. Sauron gets stabbed by a bunch of orcs and killed. Yeah. His essence then falls down a chasm, and by coincidence, he begins feeding off of life forms. So just by coincidence, he's feeding off life forms, and just by coincidence, he manages to reconstitute himself. There you go. It's super lame. Let's get into what they say. So, you're all caught up. So it says here, Charlotte Brandstrom, because remember, ladies and gents, that was one of the things that Season 2 wanted to do, was have all female directors. Because what was missing from Season 1, and why Season 1 wasn't very good, was there wasn't enough pussy. Okay? That's why. Okay, they needed more gynocentric directors. Apparently. Anyway, Charlotte Brandstrom directs the premiere episode and was asked by Variety about the sequence of Sauron's waking up, basically being killed and waking up. So it says here that flashback was meant to be in episode 6 in the first season. Then there was no room, so they decided to keep it for this season. They opened the season with this look back, and I think it's a very smart way to get into Sauron's character. It's not Sauron, but I mean it is Sauron, supposed to be, but it's not Sauron. It's not what Sauron was like at all. Or what the orcs were like, by the way. So it says here, because what the showrunners are really trying to show is that everybody is a real character. The evil characters aren't just black. They have a lot of nuances to them. But they don't. Morgoth and Sauron are quintessentially evil. They just are. Next you'll be telling me that the elves are a little bit evil as well. Actually, they're not just good and pure. Pathetic. In the moment he meets Galadriel, and the moment when he comes back and he's reborn, that's thousands of years. Right. First, there is the first Sauron, the one which we see in the opening sequence, right? So we see Sauron, different actor. He's in the opening sequence. He's being crowned Lord of the Orcs. And the Orcs don't like it when his speech says that some of them will die when he tries to bring order to Middle-earth, right? So the Orcs proceed to kill him. Yes, Sauron is killed by Orcs. So the very first Sauron, that's the very first scene. Thousands of years before. So presumably Morgoth is killed pretty much straight away. And that sequence happens pretty much straight away after Morgoth is killed, right? Morgoth is Sauron's old master. Sauron was like the right-hand man of Morgoth. He takes this new shape into this blob and this creature. That's thousands of years before. Okay. So it took him... Sorry. Orcs killed Sauron. And he's a blob at the bottom of a castle for thousands of years. And he only escapes being a blob because of coincidence. Excellent. Fucking great writing. He takes this new shape into this blob and this creature. That's thousands of years before. Then, when he becomes Halbrand and meets Galadriel, when he comes back, it's like 6 months later. After he has clothes on and meets the old man on the road. So at some point, by coincidence, he happens upon a bigger life form, a human, and he consumes their essence. And just by coincidence, he takes their essence and becomes Halbrand. And then he walks off and he meets an old man and he goes with them. But apparently does this because he's not actually fully evil yet. Great. Brandstorm went on to say, it's very important for them to make sure Sauron isn't 100% evil. Yes, he is. When he meets the old man on the road and looks back at the dark clouds over the trees, and he makes the choice to go with the people onto the ship, he still doesn't know what he's going to be up to. He hasn't made a choice of becoming what he's going to become. I think the choice happens when the sea monster attacks the ship. It starts sinking and the old man is asking him to help him, and he doesn't. What? So with it now clear that the Lord of the Rings Rings of Power is just as much Sauron's origin story as it is for the titular rings, Brandstorm shared a few hints about where the character story is heading. I can't wait for this, guys. Can't wait. Sauron wants to help everybody, but he wants to do that with the ultimate power in the ring. He is getting into everybody's head and manipulating everybody. This season is really about how Sauron is going to accomplish what he's going to do. He's starting off with nothing. He's by himself, no army, he's all alone. How is he going to basically conquer Middle-earth and also have Celebrimbor make the ring for him? Right. So why doesn't Sauron, not Sauron, but Sauron, not reveal himself to Adar? He says he feels a huge amount of ownership over the idea of Mordor and his people. He leaves Season 1 with a huge amount of anger towards Adar and wants to get retribution, but he has a level of power that someone like Adar can't comprehend clearly. So he doesn't do anything. And also he doesn't really have that much power because he was a blob for thousands of years and only managed to remove himself from being a blob by coincidence. So he has this level of confidence, knowing that he'll stop at nothing to take revenge on Adar. Their relationship is a really cool and complex part of Season 2. This is so fucking lame, man. So there you go. Sauron's origin explained. Yes, he was a blob. He was effectively venom for thousands of years. And orcs managed to kill him. Orcs managed to kill him. That is bad writing. For anyone that knows anything about Lord of the Rings, that is bad writing, ladies and gentlemen. There is no other way around it. That's bad writing. It's bad writing that by sheer coincidence, he managed to reconstitute himself by consuming rats and other living beings. It's only by sheer coincidence, which is bad writing. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. There are people that are just randomly defending this show, and yet you cannot actually articulate what is good writing about it. So please do try. What's good about coincidence? Please. Because the plot demands it. Is that it? Really? That's pathetic. And if you like what I do, support me further via my Patreon. It's the first link down below. Cheers, take care, bye-bye now.